It grabs a hold of you. If you didn't have drugs, if you didn't know a way to get drugs, if you didn't want to share your drugs, I didn't need you in my life. I was a monster. This used to be one of the capitals of methamphetamine productions. My own stepfather was heavy into the production, my mom's second husband, so I had kind of like a front row seat. We're actually sitting in a house that I lived at, at 13 years of age, when I started smoking marijuana. This 10-house complex here was later known as Heroin Alley. It had a really bad reputation, drug dealers, drug addicts.
My parents are both alcoholics. All my brothers and sisters used and drank. When my sister offered me crank, it started from there.
I battled with drug addiction for 25 years. I came from the bottom, from the streets, from the river bottoms, homeless.
My husband walked up out of the river bottom every day, taking the kids to school, giving the kids a bath in the river kind of thing. He would make an open fire and we'd cook that way. The kids knew, that we were using. At the time, we weren't ashamed of doing that. It's just what we were doing.
Always preoccupied with getting high instead of taking care of the children like you should. It was dysfunctional. My oldest daughter actually left home when she was 13 because she got tired of us. I was there physically, not so much mentally most of the time, definitely not emotionally.
And when you're an addict, that's the life, I was sick and tired of getting high, sick and tired of dragging my kids from one spot to another, sick and tired of not getting along with my husband. And I wanted a normal family. I just couldn't see him saying, okay, we're done with this and let's stop. So someone had to. And so went to the motel down here and stayed, and we got the call from the depot right on the same day. We had no more money to stay at the motel longer.
The depot is the shining light for hope for people in need. There's no other homeless program in the area like it. I went kicking and screaming into the program in 2006. I didn't want to get sober. Didn't want to be sober. The next morning, I get up. I walk down the hallway of the program there, next past the dorm rooms and the other family rooms, and I walk into the kitchen, and here's my family sitting around a table eating breakfast that I hadn't been able to supply, under a roof that I hadn't been able to give to them. It was at that moment that I realized that everything I'd done in my life up to that point had been for nothing. It was all self-centered, self-seeking, and worthless. And I cried out to Christ. I told him, Lord, I don't know what you want from me, but I can't do what I've been doing anymore. And the only thing that I feel inside of me that I can do is cry out to you. We graduate the program. They want to move us to a little house at transitional. We come out. They move us into the exact same house I lived in when I was 13 years old and started using. It kind of creeped me out at first, because I was dealing with a lot of past things already. And then to just step back in to this place. But what was really weird is that as we stepped into the house, it felt like home. If you can live a life of recovery and follow the will of God, where you had the most trials and tribulations in your life, you can do it anywhere. I went back to school after I started working with the Salvation Army. I got my AA in business, my BA in ministry, and I'm one class away from my master's in business administration. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I always thought that stop using and everything will be fine. No, when you stop using, that's when you have to start addressing everything. There was many a times in my own sons and daughters' lives that I wasn't the best role model that they needed in their lives. But God changed that.
Today, I take a lot of pride in being the best wife that I can be to him, because he's the best husband. I'm being the best mother to my kids because of the way I was in the past. I still feel guilt and shame because of the things that we put them through.
We both did some things in the past that we weren't proud of, but we worked through them you know, and it was only through coming together as a husband and wife who honored God were we able to do that.